Hey everyone, it's Junkdog from the Junk Buddies here. Going to be starting a new project where I'm going to be printing all 151 Pokemon in my new Formlabs 2 printer. And here, as you can see, I have the Formlabs preform slicer opened up. I have a little Bulbasaur right here. I have him printed at the default size, so here are his dimensions. 30 millimeters, 33, 38 millimeters, but that's with supports and everything added. Now, he looks good to go, but after doing some test prints, I figured out that if we see here, as he's printing, he prints completely solid, which is great for durability, but if I'm going to be printing 150, if I'm going to be printing all 151 of these Pokemon, it's going to use up a lot of resin. So what we're going to do instead is here, let me show you guys. We're going to open them up with MeshMixer. All right, now that we brought up Bulbasaur in MeshMixer, we want, look at him, we want to add some drain holes. Now, I could add some drain holes here, or here, which could be good, or even here. Well, this area, actually, let me tell you guys, this area, I don't want any drain holes because since it's his main body, I don't want to plug up the hole and start doing body work. What I want to do is put him on a pedestal, and if anything, just pop him in, it'll be easy. So I want to aim for the drain holes here after I'm done hollowing him out. So to do that, I'm going to reorient him so that I got him nice in the frame for you guys. We're going to hit over here on the left side of the drop down menu for edit. And over here, we're going to hit hollow. After hollow, it's going to do its thing. It's going to generate the mesh. And over here, you can see the ghost of Bulbasaur is here. This is the outside. And what MeshMixer is saying here is that this little cursed side is the hollowed out insides of him. This is where all the hollowness is going to happen. But what I want to do here is I'm going to have his face be at 1 millimeter, the hollow. I want it closer to the mesh because I don't want all that. I don't want all that material in there. I want thin walls because he's not going to need much sanding or anything because it's a resin print. So luckily for me, that's not going to be an issue. So now that we have that, I'm going to aim for my drain holes to be in the back of his foot over here. So this time I'm going to click one over here. And you know what? I'll click one over here. But I want to change my holes to being 1 millimeter in diameter. And what we're going to do is we're going to generate... Oh, oops. Sorry about that. Nope. No. All right. Sorry about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on 1 foot area and another foot area. And I lowered my hole radius to 1 millimeter. That way I can update hollow. And I want to double check, make sure it's aligned. It looks aligned and centered. We're going to go back and center Bulbasaur here, and we're going to hit accept. So once we hit accept, MeshMixer is going to do its thing and calculate everything along with the holes. And let's see. All right. So we got 2 holes here, one in the back and one in the front. So as he's printing, he's going to be printing around like this at an angle. The beginning drain hole will start draining and the back hole will start draining anything that gets caught in the top area, which will be good. So now that we're done here, we're going to hit export. And when you find wherever you want to export them, so it's going to be Bulba drained. That'll be my code phrase so that we know Bulbasaur has his drain holes in there. So Bulbasaur is getting drained and also hollowed out. All right, now we have Bulbasaur over here. You can see here there's a few error messages here. Model needs support, unsupported, and there's also cup detection for any spills and also any mess ups that could happen. But let's double check to make sure. This first layer here, we see the 2 drain holes here, which is great. Then you bring him up and you can see here he's completely hollowed out right here, which is awesome. This is exactly what we wanted. So now that we did this, Formlabs and their preform software have a really cool function. You could go here on 1-click print and it's going to orient and support your figure over here. So we're going to do that. It's going to calculate. It's already changing the orientation and it made the supports. But here, let's see. Regions outside in yellow are cups and may result in blowout or poor surface finishing. So what I want to avoid for that is I want to angle Bulbasaur out to make sure that as he's printing, he's going to be able to pour out all that resin because that was the purpose of making all those holes. So I'm going to change him back over here, maybe about right here. And we're going to hit generate supports again. Once our supports are made, I notice that his supports are going in his mouth and about here in the bulb. So let me do that one more time. Put them at an off angle like this. And let me raise them up just a tiny bit. In the back of the bulbs, that's okay. I don't mind it right there. Or even on his teeth, that'll be okay. I can sand those out and get those done quickly. And also before doing that, I want to cut these in half, the diameter of the touch points. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to show you guys why I'm doing that. So you can see here, the touch points, this is where it makes contact with the resin print. And if I show you guys, I'll show you guys what it looked like before, 0.6, and why I'm going to want to make them smaller. Here you see how big this is. The bigger this is, the harder it's going to be to get these supports off. And it's not going to be a universal thing with every single print. This is going to be something that you guys will have to play around with in whatever slicer, whether it's preform or Chitu box or whichever one you guys want to use. I'm going to try, I'm not going to go as crazy. I'm going to try to do 4. And there we go. So they're a little smaller. It's right here on the lip and right here on the teeth, which is okay. I can live with that. And right here on the ear, I can live with that here. And the bottom of here and the back of him too. And we have our drain hole here, so that when the print starts, everything that starts building up here can drain out. Same with right here. So let's see. Let's double check our layers. We see our raft being built here, our supports. And here's the first leg. You can see here, this is where everything's going to start draining. Start printing. And just in case, we have our second one right here, so that anything on top will start to trickle down and everything will trickle down to the first one. You see now that he's hollowed out, a lot less material, and all that's needed is just supports inside of here. And we don't ever have to worry about getting rid of the supports on the inside because they're on the inside. This is just going to be 342 layers, which is not like hyper detailed. I could put it on the finest detail, but after doing some test prints, and I'm going to be painting and post-processing him anyways, I'm going to keep it on the default. He's going to take about an hour and 45 minutes. He's going to use, his volume is going to be 4.3 milliliters. He's going to be about 342 layers. And everything seems to check out. This is good. This is good. Our cups is now good too. Everything seems to be okay. So now we're going to hit upload print. And we can see I'm already low on resin. This is why I wanted to show you guys the hollowing process, because as I was doing test prints and figuring out this printer, I was using a lot of material and I didn't realize. I completely forgot. I was so excited getting this printer that I'm like, oh, look at all these cool prints. And I'm like, wait, why am I going through so much material? And when I look back at the models I was using, they were completely solid. So that's why we hollowed them out. And so that we don't have to keep using a lot of material, because resin is very expensive. So here we're going to call him Bulba 1 out of 151. We're going to add to queue, and it's going to generate it and send it straight to the printer, which I'll show you guys in a moment. You can see here, job uploaded successful. And over here too, before we go to the printer, we have a handy little feature where formlabs, once you make an account, you can track your printer online and see how much happened. And you can see here with all my tests, I've done 7 test prints and all of them have been successful so far. It's been great. And you can even see here the queue here. I've been working on a Mimikyu, Miku. These are all printed and already post-processed, so I'll probably show you guys later, but that's for later. For now, let me show you the printer. Alright you guys, so now that we got Bulbasaur ready, we can see here on the Formlabs 2 printer, Bulba 1 out of 151 is ready to go. This is the Formlabs 2 printer, and before opening it up, this is the resin cartridge. You pull these out and pull them in, and as the print goes, let me open this up real quick. As the print goes, out of that little container in the back, the resin will come out just like here, and this little scraper will scrape and smooth everything so that every time the build plate comes down, it'll always be on an even surface. So let me close that back up, and we will get him printing now.
As you can see here, he was printed on a Formlabs 2 printer using V4 gray resin. Here's a close-up right here. So you can see I hollowed them out and gave him some drain holes. Right here, we're just going to snap those supports right off. And look at that. That's really nice. You can see the drain holes there. And right here, here's a little close-up. Look how tiny he is.